Well, good morning, and good morning. This is Vinney Chopra and Beau, Vinney and Beau show. We come live to you every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. Thank you for joining. As you join, please let us know where you are from and also put what city you are from and so forth, and your name. So, we have a great guest today. Actually, Thomas Khammar is in the house. We're going to talk so much about property management, about property acquisitions, multifamily. Most of them, I know Thomas has so much experience in these different fields. And good to have you, Thomas. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you guys this morning?
Awesome. Bo, how are you doing, brother? I know you got up early. I know.
Yes, I got up early, went to the gym. I've done this every day except I think probably every day except maybe 8 days in the last 12 months. So that's pretty good.
Wow.
Very
I
good.
don't,
Impressive.
I don't miss the gym. That's what I do every day. So I get up. Even today, I didn't want to work out too hard, so I stretched for an hour and did a little bit of light cardio. So it's just about practicing and being consistent, just like in our real estate investing businesses. We got to be consistent.
So true. Sometime I read something, selling is like shaving. You got to get up every morning and shave, right? Well, nowadays, people have beards and all that, of course. But you're
Clearly,
right.
Beau and I have been shaving a lot, right?
But the key thing is, for us to be really excited about the miracle morning, we call it, right? And by Hal Alrod, of course, his book, Miracle Equation, we talk about that sometime. The key thing is, just to get set up, have the compass, have that energy, have that day, start right so that we can finish right. Anything we get into, we want to start right and then do the activities so that we can have a great night's sleep and be able to make a big difference in the lives of others. Let me go ahead and kind of formally introduce Thomas, our guest. Thomas Khammar, managing partner of Power Property Management, possesses a wealth of experience in facets of real estate as a business owner, property manager, and licensed real estate agent in Los Angeles. He prides himself in his strong skills as a problem solver, creative person, negotiator who has found win-win situation in everything, and his expansive network of contacts allows Thomas to quickly address any problem. This is very exciting. We're going to get into that, Thomas. So tell us a little bit more to our audience. I know you were with us about a year back. Glad to have you back, brother. How are you doing?
Thank you. Doing all right. Just navigating this crazy world of real estate and COVID and who knows what. So every day is a new day, and you wake up and you give it your best, and you go to sleep hoping you did.
So true, so very true. I mean, COVID has taught us a lot of things, definitely. It has brought opportunities also, and there'll be a lot more changes, habit changes. I think,
Right.
going to be a lot more we're going to see and unfold, things like that. You're right. So I know you've been quite successful. I mean, I've seen you, since we started interacting and so on. Share with us, where you are at and your journey and where you're going, and hopefully in the interim, our audience can get really great nuggets on the way. Yeah.
So about, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, Brent and I started Power Property Management because we owned a few, maybe longer now, geez. We owned a few rental properties, and we just couldn't find somebody that was managing them with our mindset. So we started Power Property Management out here in LA. Now we're about 3,500 apartment units, staff of, I don't know, close to 60 people or whatnot. And essentially, now we're starting to move more into the investment world, and I'm finding it to be an interesting transition because it seems to be the transition that most investors do the opposite of. They get into, they're coming from the finance world, they're coming from various worlds. And so then they get into these large assets, and they really don't know how to manage them and how to read through the BS of the due diligence and how to read through, little things. I mean, it all adds up. Looking through a property's profit and loss the other day, and the pest control was $4,800 a year. And I was like, that seems a little high. So I let it go. After I was working on it, I literally just sent a message to Orkin, because they're a national company, right? And I go, hey, can you guys go out there, thinking about buying this property, can you guys go out there and get us a quote? The whole year was $1,800.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
So, I mean, little things like that I think are going to help us, and they've proven to help us over the years of navigate through the struggles of property ownership. So now we're having to kind of work backwards, again, learning the finance side of things, learning, all the legal aspects of it. But at least I think we have an upper hand when it comes to the property management and how to navigate that.
Totally, Thomas. I mean, I know when we started purchasing 14 years back, that was the big thing, to find the right property management company. And we did find, but then we were at that property a lot more than they were,
Yeah.
And, to be able to really steer through negotiations, getting the right contract, like you just mentioned, that was really the main reason why I started with my team building property management company. And then we started integrating second company, same property management. There is so much to be gained, isn't it? When you are the owner and then you're also the manager of that asset, you make different decisions. You make right decision, cost-cutting measures, all those kind of things, right? Yeah.
Right. And I'm starting to find out you make decisions that are based on facts a lot more than you make decisions based on maybe the easiest way, right? So if you're managing someone else's property, and so I don't know the right way of putting it, but I'm starting to realize that that's becoming a big thing. We're making long-term decisions that help the asset versus short-term decisions that just free up the task so I can move on and do something else.
Totally.
Yeah.
Beau?
Oh yeah, no, I was just looking at Dinesh said I can't go to your website, and it's actually a smart website, so you don't need to put www. You just go to beauexting.com, so you don't need the www. I forget what they call that, but SSL. It's like a security thing that was old school. So now you don't have to put www.
Oh, okay.
So there you go, Mr. Patel.
Fancy.
Yeah, you can go to my website now and find out some more information.
Hey, let's just put a little commercial right in there, Beau. We do it every week. Again, Beau is the greatest mortgage lender, right? The broker, actually. He's got so many different facets to get you the right business, creative business. The bridge financing or HUD or PACE or you name it. Everything is there. And then I'm a syndicator in multifamily, a coach, a mentor. We are doing amazing things in buying multifamily, now assisted living and hotels. And we are raising lots of money, $50 million. We raised how much? $8 million in the last 10 days alone. So, and it's a 506C. So I can talk about it on the show because it's for everybody and everybody, only for accredited investors. And we are going to be advertising. And I had 6 meetings yesterday with all these heavy hitters, doctors, attorneys, and all. So, we are very, very fortunate to have that. Just a little plug for us.
There you go. Well, anyways, let's kind of dive into Thomas. Last time you were on the show, I don't know, it was a year ago. It goes so quick. Maybe actually it was maybe even longer. Life's a blur right now with COVID, but
it sure is.
At the time, you were starting to acquire properties in Washington and some other areas. Where's your focus right now, and are you still in those markets? Just curious where you're seeing the trends.
So, well, that's It's a tough question to ask because I'm seeing a trend nationwide, right? The market is just I've never seen anything like this. And I've been through a downturn before, and this is just up, up, up. I mean, you name it, it's going up, right? But I'm starting to see a big trend towards landlord-friendly states.
Mm-hmm.
And I think COVID, it has really shaken that out. There are obviously California, California has its own struggles in the sense of landlord friendliness, but I'm really seeing a huge uptick in areas that care about the tenants, because as landlords, most landlords care about the tenants. I know I care about my tenants quite a bit, but I also want it to be a fair and a win-win, right? So that's where I'm seeing kind of the biggest trend. Obviously, Texas is, very landlord friendly. While at the same time, we were touring a property just a couple of weeks ago in Texas, and the on-site manager, I said to her, I'm confused. You don't have any delinquencies during COVID? And she goes, no, none. She goes, we just send them to the county if they show proof to the county that they're really struggling, and the county writes us a check within 7 days of the rent. So, and the way she said it is then the county holds them accountable monthly to turn in proof that they're struggling. It's genius, right? But in LA, I mean, I got, on the property management level, we have tenants that are driving Lamborghinis going in and out of their unit every day, and they're saying they're struggling and they owe $200,000-$300,000 in rent. So,
oh my gosh, wow.
Hopefully that answers your question, Beau. I'm seeing a huge uptick in bigger investors starting to move to landlord-friendly states.
Yeah, I agree. And let me just kind of jump in here on the lending perspective. I have all of a sudden I got a ton of inquiries of people buying in Tennessee, right? So it's I have, I think, 10 loans going right now, people
Really?
in Tennessee. Yeah. A lot of short-term investors investing in the Smoky Mountains right now because it's the #1 tourist destination, and they're crushing it on their Airbnbs. And it's just amazing to see what's going on there. I mean, I literally have 10 deals in the Smoky Mountains. And prior to this, I didn't do much. I did a little bit in Tennessee, but I also have a deal in Knoxville I was going to tell John about that I'm funding for a client. So Tennessee seems to be a very hot state right now. A lot of people moving there, a lot of job growth. So it's interesting.
And again, a very landlord-friendly state.
Yeah, that's so true. So true. I think that's what we have seen, in the Texas and Florida. We have had pretty good luck there also. Georgia, is that a friendly state? I don't know. I mean, I bought it and I sold it.
I don't know. I haven't heard too much about Atlanta at all, or Georgia.
Sure. I know there was a question right here. What's your biggest challenge in property management today? Mark is asking. Thank you, Mark.
So I think the biggest challenge today is the fact that the market itself as a whole is it's so out of control and booming that the biggest challenge would be managing expenses. And what I mean by that is repairs, upgrades. We're seeing material costs go up so much. It's really, really scary. And we're seeing it on small jobs. It's not even, well, we can get into it later, but we're seeing it on small jobs of a simple water heater for a unit that would cost us, I'm just throwing an example, $1,200, or a 40-gallon water heater, would be about $1,200 installed, 2 years ago. And it's running us about $1,600 to $1,800 right now.
Oh, wow.
And it doesn't take more work. I mean, it's the same amount of work. It's a 2-hour job, right? So labor-wise, any which way you look at it, licensed, unlicensed, whoever's doing it. But the problem is that everybody's gouging all around, and you have to really spend a good amount of energy figuring out that. And I would really say that's our biggest challenge now. And probably, I don't think other states have this, is the frivolous lawsuits. California is a big frivolous lawsuit state. So, and so is Washington. And so I know when I first was in this business, you would get served a frivolous lawsuit and it would just ruin your night, and you'd be so stressed and worried. And it's so sad because we're now kind of immune to it, right? Just tender it to insurance and hope for the best, and constantly review your insurance policies and make sure that you have the right coverage. So those are the two biggest struggles, I would say, right now in today's market that we're seeing on the property management level.
So are you so it sounds like Texas is your number one place you're looking right now for opportunities?
Texas, that area is big. We're looking at a 260 unit portfolio in Oklahoma. Washington is my baby. So I just love Washington. I don't know. I say to my wife, Becky, all the time, I go, I don't know. I just see myself moving up there at some point in life. Yeah, I'm an LA boy. I've been in LA my whole life. And there's Big John.
John wanted to bring you also, buddy. Yeah, so that you could even ask. I know when you said, Beau, about Knoxville, John is right there. As a matter of fact, we are negotiating a contract and we are ready to buy 4 more over there in Knoxville. Anybody listening to us, any brokers, if you want something to be closed within 30 days or within 60 days, we are the people. We have closed 100% of deals. So please tell us, and we'll give you $250,000 hard day one when we sign the contract. That's the strength we have. So anybody listening to us, yeah, go ahead. John, tell us more about Knoxville, buddy. Yeah, I know you are very excited about Knoxville and Tennessee. Oh, you're muted out. Okay.
Oh, sorry. So Beau said, the Smoky National Park is one of the most visited parks, and I think it was during COVID. So out of all the national parks, that's the number one being visited. And so that's 40 minutes from Knoxville. And so there's a town called Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. So I have a lot of friends locally that are doing very, very well on short-term rentals. And you can buy them, rent them out, VRBO and Airbnb, and they're crushing it. But people are moving, back to Thomas's point, they're moving to more landlord-friendly states. Here, there's no state income tax. People are just nicer here in the South. I mean, so
time out. Time out. I want to go back to the 250,000. I got something in the Smokies, but I don't think you'll give me 250,000. I'll take. How about 75,000? I got a small multifamily for you, John, but it'll be a great one to turn into a short term there in this month.
Yeah, send it over. Yeah, we're ready to do it right now. So
okay, let's do it. I'm gonna get it under contract in my name. I'm gonna quickly assign it to your LLC and make a quick 75 grand. Yes.
There you go.
Together, John and I will own 50-50. John, let's do it, buddy. You bet. Anyway, let's come back to Thomas. We will do that afterwards. We will. Hey, guys, again, this show is for you. Please join us. I know last week we had a lot of people joining, almost 13, 14. I know it's in different channels. I don't know if we didn't promote it right or something, but sometimes it doesn't show, restream, how many people are there, who are watching and so on. And but we do have another, few more minutes. Thomas, what else you could share with us, buddy? What is coming up for you now in this year, next year? How is your perspective?
My perspective. I don't know how to answer that question. I right now I'm taking it one deal at a time. I think I've learned a good amount from this young man named Vinney, and I listened to him a lot when I read the book and his podcast. And I'm building relationships. I'm very much in a relationship building mode.
Yes.
And I think I will be for a very long time, because it very, very quickly, it's proving to be fruitful.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is I'm building relationships with mortgage brokers. I'm building relationships with property managers. I'm building relationships with real estate brokers. And I'm treating them as humans, and with respect and mutual respect. And
Yes.
it's already proving to be very fruitful. And here's an example of it. Okay, so I see Beau's face like, what in the world are you talking about?
No, I agree. I do the same thing. So
So obviously, brokers cold call, right? Especially real estate brokers. I get cold called, I don't know how many times a week on my cell phone with real estate brokers. And I tell them, I say, hey, I want to interrupt you. We're not interested in selling, but we're interested in buying. We'll buy anything. Send it our way.
Yeah.
And then I have a very candid conversation with the agent. I'll say to him, look, he's like, well, I'd like you to put in an LOI here. And I don't want to just put in LOIs. LOIs don't mean anything, essentially, right? So why ruin our reputation and put an LOI in on a deal if we're not going to go through and buy it?
Yeah.
So and I want to be, if anything, kind of like Vinney said earlier, we close 100% of our deals. If I go into escrow on a deal, I want to buy it.
Exactly.
I'm not here just to waste the seller's time or waste, Beau's time in trying to get a loan, or waste, Vinney's time for helping me review the underwriting, or John's. I want to close on the deal, and I'm bullish on the deal 100%. Now, things happen, right?
Yeah.
You have sellers who are liars. You have, units that have mold that nobody knew about, supposedly. You have stuff that comes up.
Yeah. Yep.
But my personal intention is to close on a deal. And I think that goes a long ways in terms of reputation in this market, because there's so many buyers.
Yeah.
Everyone is a buyer. Everyone is capable and wants to buy real estate and can get and qualify for a loan. But at the end of the day, if John Doe is a real estate broker and he has 5 clients or 10 clients that he can send it to, he's obviously going to send it to the guy who he knows is going to be able to close on the deal.
So
right?
True.
And so harboring that relationship is really our big thing right now. I mean, this morning I shipped off a whole package, or had my assistant ship off a whole package to one of our real estate brokers in Texas, because he texted me a picture of his newborn kid he had at 11 o'clock last night. So, and sent him something beautiful and nice. And the whole point of it is, I'd rather spend that $100 knowing that I'm going to get the next 2-3 deals that come his way off market.
Totally. That's what distinguishes you. You're so right, Thomas. I mean, what I loved was you said dignity, respect. Treat everybody, brokers, lenders, everybody. They're doing the best they can in their profession. The more you endear them to you, the more you will be rising up in their eyes and their thinking, and they'll be thinking about you. And like you just said, performer. People like performers. If they find out that you are not going to dicker around, you're not going to retrade, you're going to close within 54 days or whatever, you have the power of liquidity and the buying power and all that goes a long way. And that's why I'm able to put together, this kind of money. We put even $1 million hard, by the way, when we bought $52 million deal, Bentley, $1 million. It was $500,000 first, and to sign the contract, and $500,000 after due diligence of 25 days, 24 days, something like that. But anyway,
due diligence.
Yeah, due diligence, exactly. But what you just said also is so true. Do your numbers right. Make sure that you've looked through the deal. How much is the deferred maintenance, whatever. If it comes little bumps on the road, that's achievable. Nothing happens. But have that fudge factor in your underwriting so that it doesn't take you out, And that's the key thing, to have the broker bless you the loan. That's the reason we have closed on all 34 deals from LOI to the
Right.
contract, to the closing, because that's why, No, how can people reach you? We want people to get to know you more, Thomas. And we try to do it only 28, 29 minute show now because it was getting to be an hour. Nobody watches it.
Yeah.
You know.
So you can reach me. You can reach me at powercapitalgroup.com. Powercapitalgrp.com. I'll let John put that up there. I don't know, John. Honestly, this screen is so overwhelming to me. It looks like I'm an actor in Hollywood here, even though I am in Los Angeles. But it's powercapitalgrp.com. We're always we're always looking at deals. We got several deals that we're negotiating on. I want to tell you one thing, and I want to kind of pat Vinney on the back for. I read it in his book, and it stuck with me. Be honest to all parties that are involved. And a good example of that is right now we're negotiating on a very big deal. My business partner, Brent, who many of you guys have talked to, and I know Vinney and John know very well, is on vacation. It must be nice. He's on vacation till July 14th. Okay. No, I don't know where in the world he is, but I know that every time I text him, he doesn't respond. That damn it. But he's on vacation till July 14th. And, he's really the operations guy. I put the deals together. He manages the operations. And so the seller wants us to go hard on a deal in 7 days. Okay, no problem. We're willing to give up $500,000, go hard in 7 days. But the problem is, I can fly out there, but I can't reach Brent to fly out there. So I kept delaying it a day here and there. And finally, I'm just like, I'm getting too much heat from the seller's agent. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I called our attorney, Milton. I go, Milton, I don't know what to do on this one. He goes, call the broker, tell him your situation, deal with it. Tell him, hey, you're my broker. Figure out a way to deal with it. So I called the broker. I said, look, we're not playing any games.
Yeah.
We're on vacation. We all have young families. We're all, we're in the middle of summer. We literally extended the effective day to July 15th.
I love it. Look at that.
In other words, you worked out a huge deal. I saved a huge deal just by being straightforward and honest with everybody that's involved. Something that's not done regularly in the real estate world.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think people need to just be upfront, and everybody kind of tries to listen, there's certain things in life that you just can't do. We're going to try our best, but everybody's the last couple of weeks, people send me deals and they're like, they've fallen out at a bank and now all of a sudden they got to close next week. And they expect me I can work miracles, but I can only do certain miracles, right? But listen, I have to be transparent. I think I can get it done by the end of next week. We're going to have to get a BPO done. We're going to have to get all this stuff done. And it's I just have to be transparent. But I think most people would have kind of dicked around and they would have lost the deal, right? Just being honest and hey.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's the guy, the seller, the guy, gal had a heart and said, okay, it's a good offer. They're real players. What am I really worried about, right? So
Love it. Wow, that's clapping. It's good. I'm so glad, Thomas, And by the way, just a shout out to Milton, my good friend, known him for 15 years in Dallas area, the best attorney, and his partner, Greg Meyer. Both of them have looked after all my portfolio right from starting, buying, selling, contracts. Milton says, sign here, I sign here. It's been such a blessing. Thank you, Milton, buddy. Thank you so much. You bet. Thomas, thank you for coming today.
Yep. I was just on the phone with you minutes ago.
Yes. It's so exciting. Again, guys, please chime in 9:30 Pacific every Friday, Vinney and Beau show. And we are very excited to have you today. And please join us again. Talk to you again. Bye-bye.